And welcome back to Hannity. Time for Media Mash, our weekly roundup of all the ways the mainstream media tries to put their liberal spin on the news. Back to go through this week's material. There's never a shortage. The president of the Media Research Center, Brother Brent Bozell. Sir, how are you?
Brother Hannity, how are we doing?
A lot of angry people apparently last week, just through the grapevine. I'm hearing, you know, I'm shocked that some people get mad that we actually expose them for who they are. All right, so we've got this Gosnell trial going on. I can't help myself. I love to stir it, and, you know. We got this Gosnell trial going on, but, you know, here at the ABC devotes 177 minutes, 177 to other trials. Do you know, Brother Bozell, how long they devoted to the Gosnell House of Horrors abortion trial?
Yeah, it's not hard. The number 0 just jumps.
Let's roll tape.
The 66-year-old star of The Expendables is suing contractor Mohammed Hadid, seeking more than $1 million for alleged damages and shoddy work to his Los Angeles mansion starting in 2009.
A dramatic twist in a murder trial that sent a Georgia man to prison for life.
We're going to get to the latest on the Jodi Arias trial. Lightning round of prosecution witnesses yesterday, including one of the victim's ex-girlfriends, and there was another burst of tears from Arias.
In a grim encore, Michael Jackson's remarkable life and death will play out again in court.
Really? Not even one segment? Nothing?
Now, let's put this all in perspective. You've got 51 stories, almost 200 minutes on the trial of Amanda Knox, on the trial of Jodi Arias, on the Michael Jackson civil lawsuit. At the same time, in Philadelphia, live, you've got the trial of one of the most horrific stories in our lifetime. A man who butchered babies, who killed their mothers with details that are beyond gruesome. Babies floating in toilets, trying to swim to come out, while he put scissors in the back of their skulls. But it's an abortion story, and since it's an abortion story, ABC has decided they're just not going to cover it. At the same time that they are covering Barack Obama going to a Planned Parenthood affair and saying, God bless you to them.
Yeah. You know, Rush had a pretty hard-hitting and really truthful statement. He actually said if liberalism was a religion, then abortion would be a sacrament. That's sad. People don't even want to. No, they don't want to deal with the truth of what this is, especially in this case. All right, let me go.
Look, you don't have to be pro-life to be horrified by it. You can be pro-choice and be horrified by this story.
That's a great point. Let's go to the cover-up of Benghazi. Do you know the networks? Here we had on Fox News, one of the whistleblowers, and by the way, this is the tip of the iceberg. Those people that know what happened that night are going to speak eventually. But in spite of what Jay Carney says, oh, that was a long time ago. But the networks, what's fascinating, we had an interview on Fox Report and Brett Baer's program with one of the whistleblowers. You think the networks covered it? No, not at all. No. If it was George Bush, they would have. Watch this.
7 months and still no arrests or targeted killings after the brutal attack on 2 U.S. locations in Benghazi, Libya, killing 4 Americans, despite promises that those responsible would be hunted down and held accountable. However, multiple sources tell Fox News that the U.S. has identified the mastermind of the Benghazi attack, who is still in Libya and walks free.
We basically don't want to upset anybody. And the problem is, if Ambassador Stevens' family knew that we were sitting on information about the people who killed their son, their brother, and we could look them as a government in the face, then we're messing up.
If George Bush were president, they'd be calling for his impeachment over this.
Sure. I would say 2 words about whistleblowers. Joe Wilson and Valerie Plame. Don't we remember those names? Don't you remember how the media gave endless coverage to these courageous men and women who came forward to tell the truth about the Bush administration? You've got this whistleblower. What do we know now? We know that Obama could have prevented this, that there were assets that he could have used. We know who did this, and we haven't arrested them. This man is disguising his face out of fear. What does that tell you? These are all stories that could be reported. When Jay Carney said, when Carney says it's an old story, that's an old Clinton trick. They did that during all of Whitewater. Every time a new allegation came out against Clinton, they said, that's just an old story. And the media bit every time. They're doing it again. It's not old. It's very new.
All right, so the president goes out with his apocalyptic predictions of doom and gloom on the sequestration, and now the networks, they're ramping up their panic, echoing their talking points of the White House press office by saying people are going to be left out in the cold and they're silent victims. Watch this.
By fixing only the flight delays and other high-profile effects of the sequester, some Democrats say less vocal victims of the budget slashing have been left out in the cold. That leaves millions of Americans harmed by the sequester, wondering what Washington plans to do for them.
So many are hurting from the sequestration. I mean, a lot of people losing hours, losing, their jobs in the process as well. So, there has to be some sort of resolution fairly quickly.
And they're the silent victims because, again, we're hearing about the air travelers because you've got pilots getting on the plane saying that 1 hour delay, blame the U.S. government.
You know what they didn't say? The sequester was Obama's idea. They forgot that detail. What else they didn't say? Republicans offered to give him the flexibility so that things like this wouldn't happen. And one other thing, they didn't point out Obama did what he said he wouldn't do. He flip-flopped, and he had to give in the end anyway.
And they're not pointing out that the sequestration funds the government for a few hours, and that's it. And they're not pointing out that the budget this year is higher than last year. So there are no cuts at all. By the way, Sean, the public is seeing right through this. They've had it. The media are playing Obama's game, and they're seeing right through this panic attack.
Oh, the media in this country are just the extension of the Obama press operation. It's scary. But we're going to continue to, I guess, poke a few of them. They get pretty angry at this segment, Some of them.
Let's do it again.
Some of the cute couples out there get angry. I don't understand it. Brent Bozell, you're a great American. God bless you.
You too.